everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tamlyn and this is Sewn on the Tyne, and I'm here today with a bit of a bumper episode. It's all going to be about the things that I made in November and a few of my favourite things. I'm going to mix it up a little bit this time round. Rather than doing all my makes at the start and then my favourites at the end, I'm going to intersperse them, so it's going to be like make favourite. Hope that's all right with you. I just thought it might be a little bit interesting and help the video to flow a little bit better. So let's just start off by addressing the fact that I'm not doing Vlogmas. I'm just not. I don't have the time to fit it in. I work, I have a 2-year-old. I also work doing many different things as well as my job at First for Fabrics. I have lots of different strings to my bow and the time's just not there. Sam also works full-time and he's involved in the editing of my videos, so it's not really fair on me to expect him to come home from a long day at work, you know, hang out with Taylor, put Taylor to bed and then start editing daily videos. It's just not fair. So I made the decision not to do it, but can I just say a massive well done to anybody doing Vlogmas. I think it's incredible. It's such dedication and commitment, and yeah, I'm mega impressed because my YouTube feed is full of Vlogmases. Well done. I'm so impressed by everybody doing it and I'm loving seeing what some people are getting up to. I did have a couple of advent calendars. I am opening them during the month, but obviously not day by day with you on camera. I've got the Kylie and the Machine Labels advent calendar, which is a countdown calendar, and there was a bit of a mix up at the start of the month where I just completely missed the start here pointing to day number 24, and I just started on day number 1, and it wasn't until somebody pointed it out that I realised you're supposed to count down from 24 to 1. So I've switched it around and I'm going from 24 down now. So yes, I am enjoying that calendar. Whether I'll get it next year or not, I don't know, because as a lot of us have been saying, our label stash is like huge. So yeah, who knows. And then I've got the Prim advent calendar over there, which you can see in the corner, which Prim sent to me, which was really lovely of them. I also was able to give one away, and that went to the lovely Katie, and she's been opening hers on Instagram, which is lovely to see. I thought I'd just show you a few of the bits that have come in that advent calendar. So the first couple of days were quite basic items, but essential to every sewing kit. Some safety pins in varying sizes, which is really useful. Then some hand sewing needles, again in varying sizes, which are always useful. I always seem to lose mine. Then we got, I can't remember the order now, but a seam ripper, again, handy. Some lovely clips. Now I use these clips all the time, particularly when I'm overlocking, because they're much more visible and less likely to be forgotten about when you go through your overlocker. Pins can be very destructive to an overlocker. Clips, not so much. The Prim ones, I haven't had one break on me yet, so that is awesome, because I do have some other Prim ones, sorry, not just these ones that I opened. We also got some awesome pre-wash detergent for your fabric, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. Hi Chester in the background there. And some lovely Gutermann sparkly thread. And then this really cool little device, which is a folding rotary cutter. Let's see if I can open it up. There you go. It's like a little mini rotary cutter. So yeah, that might be awesome to have like in my box that I take to my socials. So it kind of comes back and forth with me to my house all the time. So that might just be handy and take up less space. Yeah, so I am enjoying the Prim one so far. I think it would be particularly useful maybe for somebody starting out sewing, because it builds up a bit of an essentials kit. Yeah, all good so far. So my first favourite to talk to you about is an awesome app called Readly. I've really been enjoying this app. So it's basically like Spotify, but for newspapers and magazines. It's an e-platform, an e-magazine platform where you can access thousands of magazines and newspapers all on your device. So whether that's your phone, your iPad, your Mac, you can access them, and you can also have 5 different devices. So you can do family sharing, you can have whatever device you use in different ways you can have Readly set up on them, which is awesome. I love magazines. I always have, like throughout my years, I've loved to get magazines. When I'm traveling, when I'm at the supermarket, I'd always pick up a magazine, and this is just a way of being able to access any magazine I want, basically, which is really awesome. So there are loads of different categories you can choose from, over 30 categories. I particularly love the craft and DIY category because that's where all the sewing magazines are and the crafty magazines. But I also love cooking, so I love the food category. As you know, I love keeping fit and doing CrossFit, so there's a health and fitness category, which I also love. It's just awesome. So I do have a link that you can click down below where you can get 2 months access to Readly absolutely free, which is awesome. There's no contract tying you in, so you can cancel anytime. So at the end of your 2 months, if you wanted to cancel and not access it anymore, that is absolutely fine. Or you can continue and then pay for a subscription every month. I think it's super good value, and I love being able to just read whenever I want, any title that I want. You can also download the magazines and the newspapers, so even if you aren't connected to Wi-Fi, you'll then be able to access and read those titles. So if you know you're going to be going on a train, for example, where the signal dips in and out, you can download your title before you go, and then it's there for you on your device to read, which I just think is awesome. I really love how convenient and space saving this is. So rather than carrying magazines around or newspapers around, everything's just saved virtually. It's all in your device. So if that's your iPad, everything's just there. You don't need to have magazines that you carry around with you. It's really, really convenient. I also think it offers massive scope for inspiration and, you know, being inspired by things that you see, whether that's fashion. If you want to look at what the latest trends are, you can look in the fashion magazines and then you can apply it to your sewing. So you can think, I love that outfit, how can I recreate that? What are the latest patterns that are out there in the sewing world? What fabrics are available? And you can kind of tie it all together to really be inspired to then be creative in your pastime, in your hobby that we all love doing. So the app is super easy to navigate. So when you open the app and you've logged in, it asks you to choose 3 categories that you're most interested in. I went for fashion and beauty, food and drink, and craft and DIY. So when you first open your app, those are the suggestions that come up for you. So you'll see all of the magazines that are related to those categories. You'll also see some others further down the screen as well. If you want to browse all of them, you can just have a browse through any category. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to show you a little bit through Simply Sewing magazine. Now, I used to have a subscription to Simply Sewing magazine and I really, really loved it. However, I was getting the patterns that come free with it every month and I wasn't using any of them. I was destashing them or passing them on to somebody else, and it just became a bit pointless, so I actually unsubscribed. But I really loved all of the articles in Simply Sewing magazine. I found it really interesting and informative and inspirational. So the fact that I can now read Simply Sewing magazine every month as part of my Readly subscription is just awesome. So as you'll see here, it's exactly like the Simply Sewing paper magazine is that you would buy or have delivered. It's all there on the screen. So you can zoom in and out to make things larger or smaller. You can screenshot things if you want to come back to something a bit later or refer to something, or there's just something that you want to look back on. You can have that screenshot within your photo album on your phone or your device, which is just awesome. So I think you would love Readly just as much as I have been loving Readly. And if you would like to get 2 months free, completely free access to the app and all of those thousands of magazines and newspapers, click the link which is going to be in the description box, and also as a pinned comment, click that link and you'll be able to go and get yourself 2 months free. Remember, that's not tied into any sort of contract. You can cancel at any time, which is awesome. So yeah, don't miss out on that if you would like to be inspired too. Do let me know down below if you already subscribe to Readly. I'd love to hear from you and your thoughts on it as well. I've not been using it for very long, just a couple of months now, but I'm loving it so far and I'd love to hear if you have any experience of it too. Right, let's get started with my makes. So my favourite make, the one that I'm wearing, the one that I have worn a lot, and raved about is this. It's the Vienne dress by Size Me Sewing. If you've watched my videos before, I've talked about this quite a lot. So I bought this at the Knitting and Stitching show in Alexandra Palace when I went with Rachel and Ruan. We met Donna, who is the lady behind the pattern company, chatted to her, and I spotted this dress and just really loved the look of it. The whole smock dress, buffet dress trend has been a big thing in recent months. I'm not one for that trend because I need a bit more shape to my garments. I like something that shows off my figure. My waist is quite small, so I like things that define my waist and aren't so smocky. So I thought this was ideal because this seam here is brought in with elastic, and you can make that elastic as tight or as loose as you want. So that was ideal for me. So I thought I'd give it a try. I really like the pattern envelope as well. I thought it's really cool. I decided to use this fabric, which is from Rainbow Fabrics. It's a viscose, but a bit of a heavier weight one, so it's not too light and flimsy. And it's just got these cherries on, but then in the background it's got cherries in like a beige colour as well, which I really like. I didn't toile it, I just went for it. In terms of the sizing of this pattern, it goes from a 32-inch bust to a 50-inch bust, a 35-inch hip to a 53-inch hip. And Donna is at the moment testing out a new block for her patterns, which will increase the size range further, which is awesome news. I think I went for the third smallest size. Now on here, you might see that the pattern sizes are these little symbols rather than words or names. So I think I went for this one here, and that was smaller than my waist and hips, but bang on my bust size. But looking at the finished garment measurements, there was plenty of ease on the hips, so I went for that size. So the Vienne dress is a loose fitting, flowy dress. It's got lots of swish because of this gathered skirt, this gathered tier at the bottom. It's got pockets which are incredible. They're designed really, really well, so they're anchored in. I absolutely love them. You can barely even tell that there's pockets there. They don't sag the way that some pockets do in viscose garments. They're really, really cleverly designed, so well done, Donna, on that one. As I say, it's got elastic here and elastic in the sleeves here as well, just to bring those in and add a bit more interest and definition. The pattern is available as both paper and PDF versions, and it comes with a sew along, so a full sew along on YouTube as well, which is awesome. I did watch quite a lot of that as I was sewing, and it was just lovely to have Donna in my sewing room with me, really. So I'm going to stand up and show you my dress. I'm really happy with the sizing on this. I will make the same size again. The bodice at the back is gaping a little bit. Now, I think that's my mistake because I started sewing this with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then suddenly realised a few steps in that it was a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, but I'd kind of gone too far to go back. So some of the bodice is sewn at 3/8, which is making the bodice slightly bigger than it should be at certain points, the shoulders and the back centre seam. Once that's corrected on my next version, I'll be super, super happy. Let's stand up and show you this. So see if you can get the full length there. So absolutely love it. I think the button I've used at the back is a little bit too big because it is making it sag down a little bit, but again, it's also because I didn't take a big enough seam allowance at the back. The pockets are anchored in at the waist seam and at the bottom of that middle panel, so they just look so neat and they work so well. I love this pattern and I really want to make another one. Donna has made so many beautiful versions and changed them up a little bit and used different fabrics, and I love all of them, so definitely will be making more of these. I usually wear mine with a little plaited black belt around that seam, that waist seam, to bring it in a bit more. But yes, absolutely love this and super happy with it. Do let me know if you have tried the Vienne dress down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Right, the next thing that I want to talk to you about then is another favourite, and it is Sapphire Frills. Sapphire Frills is an accessories brand, but mainly they focus on earrings. I first discovered this brand through my lovely friend Ruan, the Yorkshire Sew Girl. She bought a pair of Sapphire Frills earrings for myself and Rachel, and I just fell in love. And I have treated myself to a few pairs since then. I love them. They're really unique. I've got actually 2 pairs in, which I'll show you. So just a little heart and then a little star. Both of these pairs came in a subscription box. So she does a quarterly subscription that you can get, and you get special earrings that aren't available on her website, and you can get different sizes and things like that. I really love that you can opt for different backs and different fastenings for them, so you can get studs, hooks, little huggy hoops, all different types of metal. Like you can get rose gold, you can get silver. Yeah, there's lots of options for you. You can get really statement earrings, you can get really subtle small studs. There's lots of different options. They're all made either out of acrylic or resin or clay. They're handcrafted, hand painted, all made in Norwich by an amazing lady and her sister. Yeah, I just absolutely love them, really love them. So I'll link to Sapphire Frills down below. Do go and check them out, but I would highly recommend. I did have one pair that actually one of them snapped, and I just sent them a message and they replaced them straight away. So yeah, their customer service is absolutely amazing as well. And thank you, Ruan, for introducing me to Sapphire Frills, although my bank balance maybe isn't so grateful. Right, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was another make, and I've actually made 2 of this thing, and it is my absolute favourite jumper pattern, the Jackson Tee and Pullover by Helen's Closet. So this is a PDF only pattern. All of Helen's patterns are PDF only, but they are incredible in terms of their instructions and the value that you get from her patterns. The knowledge that she provides in her pattern instructions are absolutely amazing and second to none, I would say. Out of all the pattern instructions that I've tried, I think Helen's are my absolute favourite. I recommend her patterns to everyone. So the sizing on this pattern is from 0 to 34 US sizes. So that takes you from a 31-inch chest and 33-inch hip to a 60-inch chest and 62-inch hip. So the Jackson Tee and Pullover is a gender inclusive design. So it's a unisex fit. It can be for anybody, any shape, any size, which is awesome. It's available in 2 length options, and you can make it as a short sleeve tee or as a long sleeved jumper. It has a lovely crew neck, and the neckband, the cuffs and the hemband are all designed to be made in ribbing if that's what you want to do, or you can use the fabric itself if it has enough stretch in. So I make the size 12 in this pattern, which matches my hip and waist measurement exactly. It's slightly larger than my bust measurement. At the time when I first made this pattern, my bust was larger due to having had a child, and I was breastfeeding at the time. So since then my bust has decreased in size, and I still make the same size because I really like the fit on me. So I've made 2 this month, as I said. The first one being in a black cable knit. So this fabric is from First for Fabrics. I've used ribbing for the bands, as mentioned. I've included a little label, which was actually in last year's Kylie and the Machine advent calendar. And I just wanted a simple black jumper, but with a little bit of interest, so the cable knit gives that interest. This actually has been rescued from the washing basket. It needs to go through the wash, but I wanted to show you it first. So I am going to pop it on. Did I say this fabric's from First for Fabrics? We do it in loads of different colours, and I am thinking of making a couple of different colours as well, but I just really wanted a black version, and it goes really nicely over this dress actually. Nicer when I've got a belt on, because I can kind of do a little French tuck at the front and tuck the bit of the jumper in at the front, which I really like. It also goes really well with jeans, high-waisted jeans, skinny jeans. I wear it with my gym kit sometimes. So I make the slightly cropped length. It's not cropped, but it is above my bum level, if that makes sense. I know that often when people are making a jumper, they want it to be longer than their bum to cover their bum, but I like mine to be a bit shorter so I can do that little tuck at the front into a pair of jeans. So let's stand up and show you. I also like that the cuffs on this are quite short. Often sweaters have a long cuff, but I like this length, and I also just pull them up often too. So let's stand up and show you. So there you go, just a simple sweater really. It does have a slightly dropped shoulder, which I think is part of the reason I love this so much. I do recommend this pattern to everybody, and I know many people who have actually bought this pattern because of my recommendation. I just really love it, and I think once you find a jumper pattern that fits you well, that you feel comfortable in, that you love the style of, then why go elsewhere? I'll take it off because I'm a bit warm. So the other version of the Jackson that I've made this month was in another fabric from First for Fabrics, and it's an animal print grey viscose jersey jacquard knit, brushed knit. I can't remember the full title of the fabric, but it's a super soft knitted fabric and it's beautiful. We do it in a grey and then in a sand colour. This is the grey that I made. I'll put a photo in here for you, but I really love this, and can be dressed up, it can be dressed down. I just really love this. It did accidentally go through the tumble dryer, so it has gone slightly bobbly, but I am going to get one of those anti-bobble de-bobbler machines. They're only about £15, I think, and I've heard good things about them, so I will rescue that jumper. And if not, I'm going to wear it anyway because I love it so much. I will link to the fabrics down below. Anything I mention in today's video will be linked down below for you, so do go and check things out and treat yourself. Right, my next favourite to share with you is a pair of boots. I got these as a birthday gift from my lovely mum and dad. My birthday is not until the 11th of December, so it's in a few days' time. But I received this gift early because I wanted to wear them for the knitting and stitching show, and I adore these boots. So these boots are the Devon Flower Buckle leather platform boots from Dr. Martens, and these are they. They're made out of this lovely pebbled soft leather, so they didn't need to be broken in the way that a lot of Dr. Martens do when you first get them. They're not stiff and hard the way that a lot of the smoother leather DMs are. They've got the DM tag at the back. So they've got this lovely big platform. I think it's a 2-inch platform, so I do feel pretty tall when I'm wearing these, but they're so super comfy and I just absolutely love them. I got them in a 6.5. They do half sizes, which is perfect for me because I am an exact 6.5. Although these are ever so slightly on the roomy side, but that's fine because I like to wear chunky thick socks with them. So yes, thank you mum and dad for my amazing boots. I adore them. And actually the first day I wore these to go to Harrogate, a lady came up to me in York train station and asked me if she could take a photo of my boots to send to her daughter because she knew that she would love them. So yes, a big success. These boots, I absolutely love them. And Alison from So Like Dotty, if you're watching, she's also got these boots too. They also come in white, which I'm very tempted by, although I'm not entirely sure my clumsiness can deal with a pair of white boots. Maybe not the best idea. Right, the next things that I made in the month of November were for our gorgeous boy Taylor. So you'll know my love affair with the vintage sweatshirt by Brindlle Twig. I mention it all the time. I just love the fit of it and the style of it on Taylor. The sleeves are slightly big and oversized. It's got an oversized fit and I just really like it on him. It really suits him. So I think I made him 3 or 4 in the month of November. I've got one of them to show you and the others we'll try and put a couple of pictures in. So this is one here. I just need to top stitch this neckband down actually. It's just been waiting for me to do that, which is super lazy. But this is a lovely sweatshirting fabric with a space print that I got from First for Fabrics about 3 years ago. I actually made Sam a pair of pyjama bottoms in this and I just had some left over, so I picked it out recently and made this little sweater for Taylor, and I think he's going to look adorable in that. I also made a couple of Christmas versions, one in a lovely fabric from Amy Elizabeth Fabrics, who sadly have now closed down. but I made that, and that's the fabric I'm using for my Ruse Rocket Christmas jumpers. So Ruse Rocket is my little children's wear business, and you can see the fabric actually there. It's got like safari animals with Santa hats on, and it's really cute. So I do have some of that fabric left if anybody would like to order a last minute Christmas jumper for a little one up to the age of 6. So do get in touch if you would like to do that. So yes, Taylor absolutely loves that jumper too. And then I made him one in a snowman loop back French terry, which I got from First for Fabrics, and he loves that one too. He loves Christmas, so anything Christmas related he's super excited about. So Taylor was 2 in July. He's a pretty average size for a 2-year-old, I would say. I have started making him the age 2 to 3, but that is very big on him. So for his Christmas jumpers, I've taken a bigger seam allowance than the pattern recommends. So the pattern states a 2/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm using a 4/8 of an inch seam allowance just on his Christmas jumpers because after December he's not going to wear them. Whereas his other ones that I'm making, I am just using the standard seam allowance, and they can be a bit baggy for now, but then he'll grow into them over the next few months. Right, just a few more things to share with you then. So I made some more things for Taylor in November. I made him a set of pyjamas, and I made him a little tracksuit, which some people have mistaken for pyjamas, and I can probably see why. So the pyjamas I made in a Santa fabric from the lovely Angela, Devon Threadtails, was selling this fabric in a D-stash. So she had made a dress with this, I think, last year, and she had some remnants left over, and I snapped it up because it's got Santa all over, and Taylor, as I mentioned, is super excited about Christmas and Santa. So I got the remnants of this for a bargain price, and I whipped Taylor up a pair of pyjamas. So I used the cuff neck tee by Brindlle Twig, and it was the first time I'd actually sewn up this pattern, and it came together really well. And Taylor wore these pyjamas last night, and it really suits him. The t-shirt style long sleeve t-shirt really suits him, so I'll be making that again for sure. And then I made him the cuff pants, which I've made quite a few times now and really suit him, and they just look so comfortable to wear. I think I would like some cuff pants. They are so comfortable. They don't have any elastic in the waistband. They just look cozy and comfortable and amazing. So yes, I used red for the bands just to bring out the red of the Santa, and Taylor loved them, which is the most important thing, and he looks adorable in them. Then the tracksuit I made was again using the cuff pants, but I used the vintage sweatshirt for the jumper part of it, and I used this incredible penguin fabric that I got last year, and I cannot remember where it came from, but I used yellow for the bands just to lift it a little bit, and the penguins have yellow on their neck, so it kind of just tied in really nicely. And Taylor again loves this tracksuit and looks adorable in it. So yes, very successful makes there. I really do love Brindlle Twig patterns. They are my favourite children's pattern company. So if you ever ask me to recommend patterns for children, they're probably going to come from Brindlle Twig. And the last thing I want to share with you then in this video is a favourite, and it's something a bit different, not sewing related, so bear with me. Not that the boots were either, or the earrings, but you know. On Instagram, I follow a few different play accounts, so for toddlers, play inspiration and that sort of thing, and play accessories. And I've been seeing this account around. It's called Raising Arabella and Asher, and this lady makes incredible hand-painted wooden story slices. So she hand paints characters from stories onto these little wooden slices, like log slices, and then sells them on her Etsy store, and her Etsy store is Raising A and A. I will link to it down below. But I just absolutely loved these. Taylor is a massive bookworm. He loves books. We read constantly. We've read since he was in my tummy. I read a lot, and Taylor has taken on my love of reading, so we read all the time. So I knew that Taylor would really take to these and love these. So I had ordered some, and then I saw that she was looking for brand ambassadors, so people that would help her to promote her story slices to a wider audience. And I thought, yeah, I could do that because I'd love to introduce more people to these incredible things, because they're really awesome, and I think children will love them, and they're just so beautifully made and handcrafted. and lovely. So I do get a discount on the things that I order as part of being an ambassador for her, but I can also offer you a 10% discount code as well, so 10% off anything that you buy from her. So I will leave the discount code on the screen here and I'll drop it down in the box below. But I'm just going to show you one example of a set of story slices I have bought from her, and it's based around the snowman because Taylor is obsessed. So it's a little set of 3. So we've got the snowman. I mean, how beautiful is that? Just beautiful little log slice with a hand painted, lovely detailed snowman. And then there is James. And then there is Santa. They're just beautiful and Taylor loves those. We sit and read the snowman and he uses the slices as we go through the story for the different sections of the story, and as well when we watch the snowman he uses those as well and he shows them at the different points, and it's just really lovely. So I've ordered a set of Stickman slices and he's going to get those for Christmas. They're going to be wrapped up under the tree. And I've also ordered Tiddler as well because Taylor loves that book. So I just think they're really beautiful, something really unique and different, and the fact that they're all hand painted is just incredible, and to be able to support a small business like that I think is really awesome. So do go and check them out, Raising A&A on Etsy, or on Instagram, Raising Arabella and Asher, but I will leave the links down below for you. Right. That's everything to share with you today. That's been quite a lot of stuff, hasn't it? It's been quite a bumper one. Sorry it's been a very long video, but I hope you've enjoyed everything I've had to share with you today. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. What's been my favourite make of yours? What would you like to talk about? Please just drop me a comment down below. I'd love to have a little chat. Also, just before I go, I forgot the big news. So I've mentioned a couple of times, I don't like to focus on numbers too much, but I was heading towards 11,000 subscribers and I just kind of set myself a little target or a goal of achieving that before my birthday. My birthday is the 11th of December. My lucky number or favourite number has always been 11. And I just thought reaching 11,000 subscribers would be awesome before my birthday, and I didn't think it was going to happen because my content hasn't been super consistent recently. But the other day, sure enough, I tipped over that little ledge and I'm now in the 11,000s, which is just amazing. So thank you each and every one of you that subscribes to me, that watches my videos, that likes them, that comments. Those are all really, really important things to me and it makes me really happy. So do give this video a like if you haven't done so already. And if you don't happen to be subscribed, then please join us. It would be really awesome. I've got lots of exciting things buzzing around in my head for next year with where I want my channel to go and what I want to achieve. So it'll be lovely to have you with me on that journey. So yeah, thank you so much for all of your support and all of your love. It's just really lovely. Aside from all that, if you did ever want to support me in a little monetary way, then I do have a Ko-fi account which is linked down below, and you can also use the thanks button. A big thank you to anybody that has donated to either of those. Again, it's really, really appreciated and it really does help me a lot. So thank you. Right, enough, it's time to go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all really, really well, and I'll see you again soon in my next video. Happy sewing. Bye. So I love the food category. So I'll take it off because so some paper clips. They're not paper clips. What are they? I've just realised I said stiff and hard. That's probably quite funny. Super long. I'm sorry, Sam.